Good morning and welcome to our today's lesson. Okay, I hope that you guys are keeping yourself safe. You know, you're washing your hands as many times as you should. You're also wearing masks when you go into public areas. Okay, yeah, it is good to follow the government directive on how to fight this virus. Okay, otherwise I trust you guys are very well. Okay, now I want us to go back to where we had actually begun this semester. Remember, we spoke about the halving. We emphasized, or we said, that halving is a concept that has been brought about by shorthand just to make sure that we are able to write as fast as we could. Please take note. Any new concept that we get to see in shorthand or is introduced in shorthand is meant to allow us as the learners to be able to grasp so that we are able to write as fast as we should. And that's why shorthand came about, to represent words. But how do you represent these words? Through signs. Okay, now we have what we call the halving concept, which I think by now you guys have been able to understand. When should we halve? When should we not halve? When do we halve? Which sound should we hear and we know that that word has to be halved? Because you don't just halve, you have either following a T or following a D. So it is very important for you to be able to understand at what circumstances you are required to have. Then remember, we said we have circumstances under which we should not have, or what we call the non-halving or non-use of halving. So we don't just have, yeah, we don't just have, like we said, we cannot halve for should and are, because those two, if a word has got an R, for example, rate, yeah, it is an upward R. If you are to have that rate, the R will be halved. Instead, it will appear like a short form. Which short form? Should. Okay, so we don't just have. There are times when we should have, there are times when we don't have. Remember, we also say we can also disjoin. We can have but disjoin. Disjoin meant what? Disjoint meant writing one word, you separate them, but you put them very close to each other. So we've got words like dated, dictated, etc. Okay, then we went to unit 12 where we spoke about the R hook, which we said it is a hook written on straight strokes on the anti-clockwise motion. Yeah, so this hook, it's written at the beginning of straight stroke on an anti-clockwise motion. So we've got words like April, the RP, then the upward RL, then we have October, we have trial, etc, etc. So I'm just trying to go through this because I remember last week when you had a chat, you said, oh, I think it was Rael who was trying to ask, she couldn't understand like things like why the special use of R hook with vowels, you know. And remember we said like there was that issue on the dot vowels why we are having now a small circle, and I explained that this is just a way of representing the vowels. Otherwise, in the next few units, actually in the next unit, we shall now be able to see that we actually don't need to put vowels. So the special use of R hook with vowel, that small S circle for words like parcel, target, with time we shall be able to omit those kind of vowels, so you don't need to worry about that. But before we do that, it is important for you to continue writing the vowels as they are indicated. Okay, remember now on the same unit is now where you're being introduced to writing letters. Remember, initially in shorthand, and I think I'm going to do a video on this, I'll give you a guideline on what to expect in a shorthand exam. And one of the things that will never miss out on a shorthand exam is a letter. So we are now being introduced to writing letters. So we can see the short form that we are getting to see here: dear, there. Then we've got phrases like dear, sir, yeah, complimentary clause like yours truly, yours faithfully. So they are preparing us, yeah, that in the next few units we should be able to write letters perfectly well. Okay, so I also hope that you are able to do those the practical dictation in unit 1, in unit 11, unit 12. Okay, I remember I also sent you the marking scheme, and I want you now to start listening to speech, because now that is where we are almost ending up. Okay, then remember we said on unit 13 we've got a small final hook written on the inside of curves, which adds an N. Now, the end hook is not written on straight strokes. It is written inside curves, often. Yeah, so the F and the N hook, we have got phone, F and an N, we've got then. Yeah, so that hook represents the sound of an N. So we say it can be used inside curves. It can also be used on straight strokes. For example, taken, T, K, and an N hook. Return, yeah, so the R, N hook. Learn, an upward L, a Y, and then an N. So this N hook is also used on straight strokes. Okay, yeah, so I hope you've also been able to capture that. Then we spoke about where the N hook also is used, and we no longer write the N. Instead, an S circle would also represent an N. For example, a word like expenses, so there's a K S P. Now that big S represent an N S. Okay, so we've got those words. We've got words like returns, etc. Now we also have got some phrases and some short forms, which now I also gave you guys the marking scheme for those passages where you should be able to finalize. Okay, and please listen to as many of those audios as you can, because you now need to start developing the art of speed writing. Listen as you write, yeah, and don't get bored. listen to it as many times as you can so that you are also comfortable. Okay, so I want to introduce unit 14. Now, unit 14, we talk about the way. Yeah, we say an upstroke way is the most common stroke that we get to see. Words like way, wait, wage, way. Yeah, that small hook represent the sound of way. Okay, that we've already captured before. Now here we are being told when we have the same hook, but now this time that hook is a bit enlarged, meaning it's bigger than the ordinary way hook. It adds the sound of hey, hey, where, everywhere. So the hook is enlarged. Okay, so we say hey is also used to weigh by enlarging the hook. Therefore it is read as where, everywhere, somewhere, etc. So we are representing ways which we represent the sound of WH or way, but not the way of WAY, way of WHER. Okay, so they are telling us different ways to represent the sound of way. We've got that enlarged hook. We also have an abbreviated W or an abbreviated way. How do you capture the sound of way? For example, we use a small semicircle. Now, that small semicircle will represent way. For example, a word like week. So that small semicircle represent the sound of way or we or W. But this one, we can only use this abbreviated W before a K, before a G, before an M, and an upward R. So this abbreviated, this semicircle way of representing this can only be done through or when only there's a following K, for example, week. There's a following G, for example, wagon. There's a following M, for example, woman. And there's a following an upward R for words like warehouse. Okay, so we don't just use it, we use it when there is a particular sound at the end of that word. We also have got the WL, yeah, which is represented by writing a small hook inside an upward L. Now you write an L like this. So when you put a small hook pale mwanzo, it represents the sound of wheel, yeah, of eel. For example, wheel. So when you put that small semicircle there, it represents the sound of, or for words like well, wheel, wealthy, etc. Now, when the same upward L, but now this time the hook is a bit enlarged, represent certain sounds like W, H, L. Words like while, okay, whilst, will, meanwhile. Then we also say we can use a medial way. Medial means that word can also be written in, that sign can also be written inside certain words. Remember when you're talking about the dots, consonant hey, we said we can also represent that consonant hey with a dot. Remember? So we are also being told here a medial way can also be used inside or when it is very difficult to indicate the sound. So you put a certain sign to represent that sound. For example, a word like reservoir, you can see that semicircle. Yeah, that left semicircle represents a way. Okay, then we have a right semicircle which represent way but followed by a dash. Now the other one is on the other side. Now this one represents a way but there's a sound of a dash vowel. There's a sound of a dash vowel. For example, woo, woo. The woo, yeah, because of that sound, the way is represented by that semicircle. Okay, yeah. So I want us to finish now unit 14. But before we finish, now we have what we call the vowel indication. Yeah, so this is now where we are being told that we were introduced to the vowels in unit 6. Yeah, but however you will find that the various rules you're learning will make it possible for you to write outlines which are so clearly distinctive, and therefore the omission of vowel emphasizes the importance of accurate position writing. You know, when you're writing an outline, you write an outline, for example, a word like April. Then you have to come and indicate with a vowel. So the time that you will be coming to indicate the vowel has been saved because you will write the next word. Okay, so the omission of vowels is meant to help us to be able to write as fast as we can. However, if you feel that you cannot remember certain words unless you indicate it by a vowel, it is now a choice. You can either put the vowels, but please take notes when we are go to advanced speeds, you know, like maybe 80 words, 100 words, perhaps you have not much time to put the vowels. And that's what they're telling you, unless it is very necessary. You don't necessarily have to put the vowel. So we have reached to that point. We also have the phrases, and we also have the intersection of beginning, etc. Now I want you guys to finish up on that unit up to the practical dictation. Okay, and from now henceforth I'll be giving you guys speeds. Yeah, I'll be giving you guys speeds, and I hope you should be able now to adjust and make sure. What I'll do, I'll also be sending these speeds to the WhatsApp group that we formed, you know, so now you're also able to listen off the portal. Okay, otherwise it was a very nice, you know, having this video, and I hope that you guys will get something out of it. So let me take this opportunity to wish you guys a very nice day. Have a very nice weekend. We'll see you again on Monday. Bye for now.